Sirens exploded across Tel Aviv as one of the heaviest Iranian missile waves in recent days moved towards central Israel. The sky flashed repeatedly. Interceptors fired one after another. Loud explosions echoed across the city. But despite multiple interceptions, powerful impacts were still reported. It's now becoming a repeated pattern of attacks that's changing daily life for civilians and raising new concerns about how long the region can continue under this level of pressure. Across Tel Aviv and nearby areas, residents once again rushed into shelters, stairwells, underground spaces, and reinforced safe rooms as air defense systems activated overhead. The sky lit up repeatedly as incoming threats were intercepted. But despite interceptions, huge impacts were still reported across central Israel. By morning, several neighborhoods were left with burned roads, broken windows, damaged buildings, and growing fears that another wave could arrive at any moment. What's unfolding now appears to be part of a wider cycle that has intensified in recent days. Iranian missile attacks have repeatedly reached major Israeli cities, and the highly advanced interceptions seem to have failed badly. Throughout the night, emergency teams move rapidly between reported impact sites. Firefighters, police officers, rescue crews, and medical teams work under intense pressure. In some areas, damaged vehicles, entrances to buildings, and roadside infrastructure caught fire. In others, streets were covered in shattered glass, balconies were torn apart, smoke drifted through residential neighborhoods, and parts of buildings were left exposed. Hospitals shifted into emergency mode as injured civilians arrived for treatment. Surgical teams and trauma staff prepared for the possibility of further casualties if another wave of attacks followed before sunrise. One of the most concerning developments in this stage of the conflict is the reported use of cluster-style missile warheads. These missiles can break apart in the air and release multiple smaller submunitions over a wider area. That makes interception far more difficult because air defense systems are no longer tracking one object. Several fast-moving fragments spreading in different directions. As a result, even when the main missile is intercepted, smaller pieces can still reach the ground. The danger doesn't necessarily end when the sirens stop. Roads, rooftops, parking areas, and open spaces can remain filled with dangerous debris or unexploded remnants. For families leaving shelters after a long night, the uncertainty can be almost as stressful as the attack itself. For civilians, the psychological impact of these repeated nights is becoming harder to ignore. First comes the warning siren, then the rush to shelter, followed by long periods of uncertainty underground. Parents seen trying to calm frightened children, while relatives exchanging messages with relatives for their safety. Repeated fear, sleepless nights, interrupted work, closed schools, and the inability to return to normal routines were seen. Israeli officials say the country's air defense systems are still functioning and continue to intercept a large number of incoming threats. However, the scale, coordination, and frequency of these attacks have paralyzed their defenses. Military analysts say the combination of ballistic missiles and drones have collapsed the defense. Visual evidence from Tel Aviv and central Israel suggests that while some threats are intercepted, others continue to penetrate the defense shield. The result is visible damage on the ground, local fires, disrupted infrastructure, temporary shutdowns, and emergency services forced to remain on constant alert. This is no longer just a story about air defense systems. It's about how long these missiles keep coming. Beyond Israel itself, the wider region is also showing signs of growing instability. Tel Aviv is not only a major population center, it's also one of Israel's most important financial, commercial, and technology hubs. limited disruption there can create wider consequences. These buildings need safety inspections before workers can return. Public transport interrupted, businesses slowed down during repeated alerts, and employees stayed home or remained inside protected areas. Markets often react not only to actual damage but also to uncertainty and fear over what could happen next. Repair teams can clear roads, restore electricity, and reopen services, but the emotional and economic effects often last much longer than the visible destruction. Each new wave adds more pressure, each alert creates more uncertainty, and each morning leaves behind the same question: how much longer can this continue before the consequences separate even further? And now this has become quite deadly for the Israeli population as Iranian missiles continue pouring into their cities. If you like this video, make sure to follow and subscribe.